Hey guys, today I got another unboxing and first impressions video. This is the Blackvue DR3500-FHD or Full HD. So this is a single channel Blackvue, unlike my previous reviews. So this is just going to be the front camera, but it should actually have a higher bitrate than the front cameras of the two channel systems, at least I assume. I haven't looked into this one a whole lot yet. But this was actually sent to me courtesy of Blackbox My Car, which is a online retailer based in Vancouver, and there is a YouTube channel for Blackbox My Car. I am subscribed to it, and I have been for quite a while actually, since before I started my channel. So they have a lot of very good informational videos, including one that I thought was very helpful on how to hook up a camera with a PowerMagic Pro. So I'll put a link down below to Blackbox My Car's YouTube channel and their online store. They have quite a lot of great Korean brand cameras like Blackvue and Fineview and several others, so I would highly recommend checking them out. So it has full HD 30 frames per second. It says high compression, so it likely has a little lower bitrate than a lot of other cameras, but I'm still anticipating it's higher than the two-channel systems, the 550 or 650. Excellent durability. I suppose any company is going to claim that. Built-in supercapacitor, which is always a plus. And there is software, but I'm guessing it doesn't come in here since there isn't really enough room for a CD. It likely just has something that tells you where to download it. This is the model, and it does come with a 16 gigabyte card. It says, if an accident occurs, the customer is liable for any damage caused, therefore please always drive safely. Obviously if you crash and this breaks because it flies out your window or something smashes into your window, they're not going to give you a new one. So, as usual, Petasoft is based in South Korea, so this is made in Korea. And that's it for the box. So it's definitely a much smaller box than my previous Blackvues. And this box is very similar to the 650, which came with a foam piece like this as opposed to plastic. So right off the bat, the main difference is it looks like, oh, it is actually removable. Okay. Oh, I thought it wasn't removable. So the fact that it's smaller is a good thing. I mean, it's not a whole lot smaller than the 550 or 650, but in the end, smaller is going to be better, but it still has the great Blackvue cylinder design that I love so much. So behind your window or behind your rear view mirror, it's going to be pretty well hidden. Of course, I love the all matte black design. It's got the typical lights on the side, audio control instead of the motion sensor like the 550 and 650. It is an actual button, as you can hear. And I assume the long line means if you hold it down for a while, it'll format the card. Quick click is mic on or off. Some people I know don't like recording audio, so. There's a speaker, the GPS and record light. On this side we have the power input, the GPS in for the optional GPS unit, and the memory card slot. And Blackvue cameras typically, I believe, come with the memory card inside of it. And looks like that's about it for this. So that's everything. So it comes with a power cord, and I'm not sure if this is the same power cord as the 550. It definitely looks smaller, so this likely is not compatible with the power cord from the 550 or 650. I'll have to double check though. And this is pretty standard for Blackvue cameras to come with this memory card reader. I had issues with mine though, so I think this is just a generic brand that Blackvue buys and puts their logo on. So I personally wouldn't recommend these because I had so many issues with mine, but I could have just had a fluke. And then we got some clips for wiring the power cord. And the manual, which I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but it is nice that Blackvue has very nice in-depth manuals, and they're always in really good English too, so that's always one plus when you buy a Blackvue. So I'm going to show some clips from the camera now. Almost all of my clips that I have recorded so far have been in really harsh lighting conditions for whatever reason. Just by coincidence though, I just happen to be driving during times of the day where the sun is worst on the camera, or at night. So I looked at the files and I did discover that this camera does have a little bit higher bitrate than the DR3500, the previous Blackvue camera that I reviewed, which is the 2-channel camera, and that camera had about 8,000 or so kilobits per second, or 8 megabits per second, including audio, and this camera has just over 9 megabits per second, so it's hardly much of an improvement, but again, at least it's something. And it's a little disappointing though to know that the 2-channel system has one feed that's 8,000 megabits per second and another that's 6,000 megabits per second. But either way, I think this footage shows that it's usable, but it's definitely not the best out there. If you notice, the left side looks really warped. That's just because of my windshield. The camera is installed about 6 inches to the right of my mirror because of my other cameras. So you're just seeing the effect of the curve of the windshield on the side. You'll see as I pull up, the license plates don't look that clear, but I think that has a lot to do with both the lighting and the angle of the camera. I've mentioned in previous videos that I have a hard time getting the right angle for cameras because if I have too much of the dashboard, it gets so much of that dark color and it messes with the exposure, but if I point it too far up, it gets too much of the sky and messes with the exposure. So I think the license plates didn't look that clear, but a lot of it just had to do with how I had it set up and the harsh lighting at that time of day, which is always going to be a possibility. I felt like after watching some of my night footage that license plates were more readable at night, and I think a lot of it, like I said, had to do with the harsh lighting conditions during the day. I think the really high sun beating down was causing so much reflection and so much glare that it's just degrading the picture. But that's an issue you're going to face with any camera. To me, it seems like when companies like Blackvue put out their own footage, they're often using footage from really bright lit up cities like Seoul in South Korea. When there's street lights everywhere and neon lights everywhere with so many cars packed together, it pretty much lights up the footage very well, that it makes the picture look better. But here you can see when I'm driving just on a highway in the Minneapolis area with no traffic, it's really, really dark, and that is something people have to realize, that unless you're driving around a lot of light at night, it's going to be really hard to see. It doesn't even look like my headlights are on, but I assure you they are. It's just not picking up very much in the video. I will make sure to show more examples of different night conditions in my full review. So again, this is just my first impressions of the camera and the video quality. I always make sure to have a follow-up in-depth review that go over all of the features, any quirks I found about the camera after using it for 3 to 4 weeks, and more examples of the video quality. If you like this video or my other videos, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.